say the first question we're looking at today says we should write 0.185 as a percentage. Okay. Whenever we are told to write any number as a percentage, what we simply do is to multiply the number by 100. Is that clear, Serenity?
Yeah.
Good. So to write this number 0.185 by as a percentage, we are going to multiply it by 100. That means this is equal to 0.185 times 100. And whenever you're multiplying a decimal number by multiples of 10, you simply check the number of zeros in the multiple of 10. If it is only 10, you move your decimal point only one step to the right. If it is 100, you move your decimal point two steps to the right. If it is 1000, you move your decimal point three steps to the right. If it is 10,000, you move your decimal point four steps to the right. Is that clear, Serenity?
Yeah.
Good. Apart from this question, I'm going to look at some other examples quickly. So let's firstly deal with this. We said this is our decimal point, and we have to shift it two steps forward to the right. That means we're going to have 018.5. That is 18.5 because we have to move our decimal point two steps to the right because we're multiplying by 100. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, please don't write anything, just listen. So let us assume we have another one here like B, we say multiply to express maybe the same number 0.1823. Let's just look at this 0.1823 as a percentage. And don't forget, when you are representing a number as a percent in percentage, you put the percentage sign. Okay,
Okay.
good. So, like the example I want to look at, let's say we want to express 0.1823 as a percentage. As a percentage. Then we're just simply going to multiply it by 100. That is 0.1823 times 100. Then again, we're going to move our decimal point two steps to the right. And this is still going to be 18.23%. But then we might not be asked to do percentage. We can just say, okay, we should multiply the following decimals, by multiples of 10. If it is the same 0.185 that we started with, that we want to multiply by 10, we'll simply move our decimal point only one step to the right. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Good. And that's going to be 1.85. This time around, it doesn't need any percent sign because we were not asked to write as a percentage. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, let's look at one more, maybe one or two more. Let's say D. If we want to multiply, let's say the same number, 0.185 by 100,000, okay?
Yeah.
100,000. Now, there is an issue here. How many zeros are in this multiple of 10? There are five zeros. Okay?
Yeah.
So it means that we want to shift the decimal point five steps to the right. But there are only three digits to the right. Okay? Is that clear?
Yeah.
So that means we are going to exhaust all of our digits when we accounted for only three zeros, then there will be two more zeros left. So that means our answer is not going to have a decimal point at all. It's going to be 185, then 00, because we're multiplying it by 100,000. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
Now, let's go over to the remaining part of the question. The part B of this question, the second part, says we should express 3 over 16 as a decimal. As a decimal. Okay, good. To express this as a decimal simply means we should divide it. Then how do we do that? We just say, we try to check, can 16 divide 3? That is 0. Okay? That is how many 16 can we see in 3? We can see only 0. We cannot see 1. Okay?
Yeah.
Then if we introduce an imaginary 0 here, we have 30. How many 16 is in 30? That's only 1. Okay?
Okay.
Because 16 times 2 is 32. So this is 30. So again, I'm going to find the remainder. If I remove 16 from 30, that's 30 minus 16, and that gives us 14. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have 14 left here. That's 14. I'm going to introduce another 0 to that 14 to make 140. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to try again now and say, how many 16 can I see in 140? So if I check in 140, I can see 8 of 16. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I now say, okay, 16 times 8, that's going to give me 128. Okay. Is that clear?
Okay.
And if I remove 128 from 140, I'm going to have 12 left. So again, I put another 0 there, like an imaginary 0. Let me change the color so it can be clearer. So that is 120. How many 16 in 120? That's what we want to check now, okay?
Okay.
Now, if we say 120 divided by 16, we can see 7. And if we say 16 times 7, yeah, 16 times 7, that's going to give us 112, okay?
Okay.
So if I now remove 112 from this 120, I'm going to have 8 remaining. Is that clear? Then I put another imaginary 0. So the question now is, how many 16 is in 80? And that is 5 without any remainder, okay?
Okay.
So since it doesn't remain anything, then the division has been terminated. Is that clear?
Yeah.
But in some cases, it might just continue going on and on and on and on. So they might ask us to stop it at one decimal place or two decimal places or three decimal places or even four decimal. But this one is a four decimal number. So they didn't specify what decimal we should stop. They just said write as a decimal. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So let me explain that briefly again. 16 in 3, that's 0. I put a 0, that's 30. 16 in 30, give me 1. So remain 14. I put a 0, that's 140. 16 in 140, give me 8. Remain 12. I put a 0, that's 120. 16 in 120 gives me 7. Then remain 8. So I put a 0, that's 80. And 16 in 80 give me 5. Is that clear to you? Good. So let's go over, though maybe later on we will look at more other examples of converting fraction to decimal. So let's go over the other part. Let's call it option 3. We are to write 240 grams as a fraction of 4 kilogram. Now, this is testing our conversion or our familiarity with uh, units. There are two units there. The two units are for the same quantity, which is mass of an object, okay? So this is gram and
Yeah.
this is kilogram. Kilo means thousand, okay? And
Okay.
gram is a basic or a smaller unit. So we can take this back to grams, okay? So that is going to give us 4,000 grams because I said that is a thousand of that unit, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you want to express them as a fraction, then it's going to become 240 divided by 4,000. But we can't leave our answer like this. If we put gram and gram is going to cancel gram, okay?
Okay.
Then we still have 240 divided by 4,000. And since we have 240 divided by 4,000, remember this. It says we should leave it in the simplest form, okay?
Okay.
Now, that means we should divide until it can no longer be divided. So 0 can divide 0. Then we have 24 over 400. Now, we'll look for a number that can divide both 24 and 400. We can use 8. 8 in 24 is 3, and 8 in 40 is 5. Then we put the other 0. That is 3 over 50. Is that clear now?
Yeah.
So at this point, we can no longer divide it further because nothing is common as a factor to 3 and 50. Okay, let's look at the last aspect before I allow you to write anything down. Let's call it option 4. We want to find 14% of 525 pounds. Let's say 14% of 525. So this is supposed to be 14 over 100. That's the meaning of percent. Of, that means times 525. So that means I am saying this is 14 times 525 divided by 100. Okay, we're going to start multiplying or dividing as the case may be. If I use 5 to divide, 5 here is going to give me 20. And 5 in 525, that is 5 in 5 is 1. 5 in 2 is 0. 5 in 25 is 5. Then I am left with 14 times 105 divided by 20. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Then I can divide further by saying 2 here, 7, and 2 here, 10. 2 in 14, 7, 2 in 20, 10. So I'm left with what? 7 times 105 divided by 10. Is that clear? Is that clear, Serenity?
Yes.
Okay, good. So how many 5 is in 10? That's 2. Then how many 5 is in 105? 5 in 10 is 2, and 5 in 5 is 1. So my answer is going to be 7 times 21 over 2. This time around, I can quickly multiply 7 by 21 and say, okay, 21 times 7, 7 times 1, 7, 7 times 2, 14. So I have 147 over 2. So this will be 147. Hold on, let me move this up a little bit before I remove it. So, okay, hold on. So this is going to be, we don't need this now, we have used it. So I want to move this a little bit up so that it can be spaced back there. Can you see it? Can you see what I'm writing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So
Yes, I
here
can.
I have 147 over 2. So it's going to be 147 over 2. So here I can say how many 2 is in 14? That's 7. Remainder nothing. How many 2 is in 7? That's 3. I'm introducing a point because that will remain 1, okay? Remainder 1 here.
Okay.
Is that, yeah, good. Then I'm going to say I put an imaginary 0 by that 1 that remains, okay? So how many 2 in 10?
Okay.
That's 5. 2 in 10 is 5.
5.
So the answer is going to be 73.5 pounds. Okay.
Okay.
So do you understand everything?
Yes.
Good. I'll give you some time to write them down, but before you write, let me box each one of them so that you can have an idea of how to go about it. So this one, and then this one, let me say here together, and finally this other one here. So you can start writing now. Once you're through, you can let me know.